Hello, everyone. This is Julia Campbell, and you're listening to Nonprofit Nation. Is it just me, or does it already feel like the month of January is completely over? I might be feeling this way because if you were on my email list, then you will know this, but I've had to slow down a ton these last few weeks. I try to take a lot of time off in December for planning, for rest, for relaxation, spending time with family, that kind of thing. But right after Christmas, my immediate family, my two kids, my husband and I all came down with COVID. We're fine. We're very lucky. You can probably hear in my voice, I have a little bit of a cold. I probably had it worse than anybody else in my house. The kids were completely fine and everyone's fine now, back to work, back to school. There was also a blizzard. And if you're like me, winter just kind of slows you down a little bit. But also, I feel like COVID gave me some major brain fog. And I've just been a little bit, unmotivated and had a little bit less energy. But I wanted to come to you today because I know that a lot of you are building your social media plans for 2022. You're taking stock, you're doing audits, and you're just trying to plan for a successful new year. So I wanted to talk about the 5 habits of successful nonprofit social media managers and some tips to kind of get you started off on the right foot as we enter this new year. So as we know, in the world of nonprofit social media, the landscape is changing so rapidly, and it's definitely becoming harder to build community, even though our world is now more connected than ever. 3 billion people, around 40% of the world's population, actually use social media, spending an average of 2 hours every day sharing, liking, tweeting, and updating on these platforms. And that breaks down to around 500,000 tweets and Snapchat photos shared every minute. Not only is social media use showing no signs of slowing down, yesterday's tried and true growth drivers are becoming increasingly obsolete. And demographic shifts are resetting donor expectations. And the promise of technology to reach new supporters has actually never been more real and more accessible and more affordable. So there's a lot on the plate of the modern nonprofit social media manager. It seems to be getting harder to manage the chaos, to avoid burnout, and to do your work more effectively and efficiently, right? So to help you get focused, I recommend adopting these 5 habits in the new year. Okay. Number 1, focus on building a community, not just an audience. Now, if you've ever heard me talk, you know that I preach this all the time. Social media is not just about grabbing attention and growing an audience. It's about building a community. As social media managers, we have to know inside and out who we want in this community and what they want to hear and to gain from us. This is why so much nonprofit social media content falls flat. There's no purpose, no reason to exist. It's just simply promotions. And you might say, well, we want to engage everyone. Everyone with a pulse needs to know what we're doing, needs to be a part of our community. Well, let's get real for a second. Your mission and your message are not going to resonate with everyone. If you are a small nonprofit dealing with a niche issue or a local problem, you have to face facts that your online community will be a lot smaller than a national or international organization. My best advice is to nail down who your choir is and preach to it. If the choir is singing together in harmony, they will bring others in and share the gospel. Leverage your current community members to bring others into the fold. Unless you're dealing with an issue that's getting extreme press coverage, it's incredibly difficult to get traction from complete strangers online. So every day, go into your communities, see what's working, answer comments and questions, be present, don't over automate. Always be learning about your community and what they're most interested in, what moves them, what drives them, what inspires them. Create content just for them and more will follow. Number 2, set a timer. The question, how much time do you have to spend on social media? Is it 100% of your job or just 10%? The best way to determine how much time social media management is going to take is to clarify how much time you have to devote to it. The truth is that getting results on these platforms is much like getting results out of an exercise plan. Consistency and intention are key. If you have 30 minutes a day to get a quick walk in, that's better than sitting at your desk all day, every day, and getting zero activity. If you can fit in an hour walk once per week, your results will be even better. The same goes for social media. No matter if you have all day or just an hour a day to focus on this, you need to create a time management plan to avoid spinning your wheels and wasting time, which is so easy to do on these platforms that are designed to grab our attention and keep us clicking. I recommend the popular Pomodoro technique. That's Pomodoro, Pomodoro, where you set a kitchen timer, famously a tomato timer, for 25 minutes. If you aren't constantly monitoring your social media accounts, using the Pomodoro technique at the beginning of the workday will help you focus and ensure that you've addressed all the messages and notifications that might have come in overnight. Now, remember that the work of social media is not just posting and promoting your own stuff and then leaving. The real work that gets results is the most time consuming. It's the interaction, building connections, exploring relevant topics, creating the content, and tweaking, analyzing, and improving. So once the 25 minutes is up and the timer dings, you're done, no matter what you did or did not accomplish. You can then set it again at the end of the day or in the middle of the day. You can do this also for any tasks that you choose. It all depends on how many channels you manage, what else you have going on that day, of course. So we know that effective social media management takes discipline and practice, but a time-based strategy like this is absolutely crucial for nonprofit social media managers that have other competing job responsibilities. Okay, number 3, take mental health breaks. Mental health stress on social media managers is a real thing, and the ramifications are just beginning to officially be studied and understood. The always-on mentality dominates pretty much every industry right now, but it is especially true with digital marketing and social media. Consistent use of social media can be detrimental to our mental health. And so taking a step back now and again is essential, even if it doesn't seem like an option because there's just too much to do. This may mean turning off social media notifications when you leave the office. If we're working at home, when you close your office door for the day. If you absolutely need to respond to something, set aside 10 to 15 minutes of dedicated time after work to go into the platforms and respond. Then shut it down for the night. Don't let it bleed into everything that you're doing. It's important to take digital detoxes and digital vacations to come up for air. To give your eyes a break from the screen, here are some great mental health podcasts to listen to. Holding Space with Dr. Cassidy Freitas. This podcast aims to demystify mental health and therapy and make it more accessible through storytelling. Another podcast, Jen Gotch is Okay Sometimes, a mental health podcast from the founder of ban.do, Bando, chronicling her journey with bipolar and anxiety. Selfie is a self-care podcast hosted by a psychotherapist and a lifestyle blogger, exploring themes like sleep, healthy eating, and balancing the body, mind, and spirit. Okay, still with me. Number 4, just say no to perfectionism. I actually need to write this down and put it on a Post-it note on my own wall. Just say no to perfectionism. Content is never going to be perfect, and your social media to-do list will never, ever be fully complete. We have to be okay with done and imperfect, as it's better than simply not done at all. I don't mean allowing lazy mistakes and grammatical errors and awful content to take over, but you shouldn't be spending hours designing and tweaking one single Instagram post or spending hours editing a smartphone video that's going to be 10 seconds long. Attention to detail is great, but perfectionism is a killer. Get that post up, edit it later if you find a drastic mistake. Test, see what's working, do more of that. All right, last habit, number 5, advocate for yourself. Every job has its busy periods, but constantly feeling like you're struggling to keep your head above water is not okay. As Thea Neal wrote in her must-read post, should you ask your social media manager if they're okay? We're expected to be marketers, creators, analysts, and customer service people. We are stressed out. If you're a team of 1 and your work responsibilities amount to 3 full-time jobs, you have to be honest with your supervisor and the board that this is not sustainable. Conduct a detailed inventory of your time, listing out as many tasks as possible and how much time it takes to accomplish them. Do not be afraid to advocate for your work. Now, I have a video that I did, a Facebook Live that I did with my fellow nonprofit nerd, Josh Hirsch of Susan G. Komen. It's called How to Get the Respect You Deserve as a Nonprofit Social Media Manager. And I will post the link to that Facebook Live in the show notes. So in conclusion, it's a busy, noisy, crowded online space. Sometimes people can be not so nice. Sometimes the work feels thankless. Sometimes it feels like you're doing it all alone, but you're not alone. Come over to Facebook, join us in the nonprofit social media storytelling group. And it's a community of nonprofit social media managers, fundraisers, storytellers, all going through similar things. I will post that link in the show notes as well. Let us know how we can support you. And here's to a very happy and healthy new year. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to work with me this year, please email me. You can go to my website, jcsocialmarketing.com, and click on the Work With Me button. And there will be many different ways that you can work with me in 2022. I would love to help you streamline. I would love to help you plan. I would love to help you become more strategic in your digital marketing and digital fundraising. So that's jcsocialmarketing.com. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast, and stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.